This is a victim services application walkthrough for New South Wales, Australia. For a victim of domestic and or family violence, the immediate needs support package application. So this is the application you fill in when you filled in a primary application, applied for counselling, that immediate needs or urgent immediate financial assistance. This is this application and the recognition payment that you apply for. So you must have a primary application in. The link will be shared how to start that. It is a walkthrough based on my experience of applying for this myself personally, and also as a caseworker applying on behalf of clients. Disclaimer, this is not legal, financial, or any other kind of personalized advice. I do really encourage you to seek your own personal advice because it will be on your personal circumstances and the rules, regulations, legislation, and support of the area that you live in. As always, trigger warning, it's confronting, it's challenging, it can be re-traumatizing. It's not easy to relive and write about it and sit in certain moments. So please look after yourself. Please have a grounding practice or recenter yourself or use your breath, whatever works for you. Take a break as you need to. So, Victim Services New South Wales, you will apply for victim support. So, you should already have gone through here because you have to apply for, I took you in the last video, so all the information about applying for that online. So, we did that application for support. Then, when you got to the financial assistance, I'm just trying to find it. And this is why these videos can be really helpful because they're not always so straightforward. So, financial assistance for immediate needs. We're going to click the immediate needs support package there and then download it. So, this is for primary victims of domestic violence in New South Wales who have been physically or psychologically injured as a direct result of an act of domestic violence, and you need to urgently relocate or have already relocated as a result of that crime, or install security in your home for safety and security purposes. So support packages include rent assistance, household items, clothing and toiletries if you have relocated and you are unable to take anything with you, removal of storage, or if you're staying in the home and the person using violence has been removed, you can get a security package of cameras, window door locks, change the locks, alarm system, up to a maximum of $5,000, regardless of which package that you are eligible for. So more information here, you can please read through it in your own time. So this is the application that you will add in or upload the file into your original application. So claim for immediate needs support package. We are going to download that there and this will open up here. So again, all the information is there. If you need any support, there are numbers down here, or your caseworker, support worker, or somebody who's a bit a bit handy with sort of all these wording. And I mean, you're probably in survival, you probably are traumatized and maybe numb. I know that I was pretty broken. So some of this stuff is like, it can be really overwhelming. So what we need to do is start filling it in. Is this claim in relation to an existing application? So yes, it will be because you've started filling in that primary application, which was the video before. You won't have a reference number if you've only just applied, because this file will be saved and then uploaded into the application, the primary application. Part 2 is the details of the person who requires support. So if that's you will put your details in. If you've got somebody else filling it in, still your details. So your title, first, surname, your date of birth. If you've used any other names, your email, address, contact number. If you are applying, this is just FYI, if you are the parent applying for or guardian applying for somebody under the age of 18, then those details will go in there. And then we're going to go to part 4, the applicant's current circumstances. So, does the applicant have dependent children? Yes, and how many, or no? Does the applicant still live with the person who was violent to them? Yes or no? What is the applicant's current address? So that's where you are staying at the moment, whether it's a friend's place, temporary accommodation or emergency accommodation, refuge, or in the home that is shared with the person who was using violence. That's that address. And then you're going to select one of these about your living situation. So the options are I have not relocated and do not intend to. That would generally be if you're staying in the home and the person using violence has been removed due to from police due to an AVO, or they have moved out willingly. What date did you start living at the current address? The second option is I have not relocated but need to urgently. Again, you fill in what day you started living at the current address and where you intend to relocate to. If you've already got a property lined up, either a private rental or a friend, somewhere that family member, whatever, then you can put the address in there. If you don't have a property address at the moment, the suburb of where you're intending to move to or relocate to or look in is fine. Third option is I have relocated to temporary or emergency accommodation and I'm looking for new rental accommodation, because obviously emergency accommodation isn't long term. And then you'll fill in the date that you started staying at that temporary or emergency accommodation and where you intend to relocate to. Again, if you do not have an address just yet, a suburb of where you intend to look to or relocate to is fine. The fourth option, I have relocated to new rental accommodation. So that's your own, accommodation that is either private or it's somewhere else that knows it's somebody's house or whatever, and what date you moved to that accommodation. Then part 5 is the packages that you require. So, what packages does the applicant need urgently to stay safe and healthy or to ensure their well-being as a result of the crime? So, the domestic violence has happened. Are you relocating within the greater metropolitan region? So, that's Sydney and surrounds, and you will need help with rental assistance. You would choose that one. If you're outside of Sydney and that, greater metro region, you can choose package B, which is just slightly less. With the way the rents are. Household items. So if you are relocating and you can't take anything with you, or it is just not safe for you, or it's just not worth it, then you would choose the household items, which gives you $1,650 plus $300 per child, per dependent child. And just choose them all: bedding, furniture, kitchenware, linen, towels, because you can work out what you need from there specifically. Again, package D is clothing and toiletries if you've had to relocate urgently and you just do not have access to anything. Again, package E, if you've relocated and do not have access, you can choose, any of these, but generally it'll come into a $1,150 white goods and appliances package. If you are staying in the home, you are going to need a change of locks, security cameras, security windows and doors, alarm system. Choose all 4 of those, and this works out to be just over 5,000, so it will be a maximum of 5,000. But you choose the security package. If you're going to have to put your stuff in storage or move, you can choose those. It will be a maximum of $5,000 that you're eligible for, depending on which packages you need. 10. Please explain in detail how each package the applicant needs is necessary to keep them safe and healthy or to ensure their well-being. So you will write in here what they will help with. So say it's the security package. Security package to install cameras to deter perpetrator and capture evidence, because that you will need that. You will need video footage if they come to the home to breach the AVO, or if they come over to commit further crimes and hurt you further. Also, knowing that security cameras are up recording can be a deterrence. Change of locks, as person using violence has a key. I just want to put those things in there. Same with the alarm system security. That's to upgrade your safety. So you just write a little bit of something in there. You don't need to spend too much time on it. You don't need to overthink it. If it's about moving, I need to move to another property and need assistance and need, I'll just put rental assistance. Oh, cannot type and spell today. I was unable to take any belongings with me, so we'll need to furnish a new property. Something like that. I'm just writing that in there. You will obviously personalize it, but yeah. Don't worry too much about the spell check. It just needs a bit of information in there as to how that's going to help keep you safe if you've either relocated or you need to stay safe in your home that the person has knowledge of and access to potentially. Does the applicant require package G, so storage and or removalist? You will obviously choose yes or no. Yes, you will answer which items are being stored, if that's a fridge, if it's a washing machine, if it's bedroom, stuff, if it's beds and wardrobes, whatever. I will say though, everything can be replaced. Your life can't, obviously, but things can be replaced. And I know that there's lots of items that you've probably paid with your hard-earned money or that are sentimental and, really special to you. But really really think about what is the emotional cost or the cost to my safety if I'm trying to get these items. Sometimes it's not worth it. Sometimes it absolutely is. But it just really focus on your safety and well-being because stuff can be replaced. And then you will just fill in this accordingly. Where will they be moved from? So they may be at a storage unit and then go to your new property. Whichever way, you just answer that. Has the applicant received assistance from other service providers because of the domestic violence? So you may get rent assistance from Centrelink, Start Safely, that's a New South Wales private rental subsidy for victims of domestic violence. And then you will answer how much you get each week. The escaping violence payment, which is now called leaving violence payment, I believe. So if you have received that, you can write in there how much you got and what support you got from there. Or staying home, leaving violence. So if you remain in the home and the person using violence has been removed or they've moved out or they're relocating, then you may be referred to, if it's in your area, staying home, leaving violence or some sort of program which can come into your home, assess and do an audit of the safety risks around your home, and they can support you to upgrade locks or maybe do cameras or even fix like fences and gates or put locks on gates and fly screens, just things that will help you feel safer and be safer in your home. So you can put that in there. Support from other service providers. So you may have a caseworker, and that could be just around court support or, assisting you with knowledge around DV or whatever sort of support you're getting, referrals, support letters, etc. Have you received the immediate needs support package before? Now, if you've received this before, it doesn't automatically exclude you from getting it again. But if you have received it before, you will need to have the receipts from what you spent, the last funds that you were approved for. So if you brought security cameras and the locks, you need to have those receipts. If you moved, you need to have those, a tenancy agreement, rental ledger, bank statement. So if you can provide those receipts, you may be eligible again. Also for this one, same thing again. Whatever you get approved for, keep the receipts from whatever you buy, which has been a direct as a direct result of being a victim of domestic violence and having to relocate or buy new, things to household things. So that's a yes or a no. And then you just come down here to, you sign it, date it in there, have a look through here to make sure that you've got everything that they need. So your completed and signed application for support. So this will be saved as a document and uploaded to, let me see if I can open that there. So that initial support, the initial application you did, that looks like this that we started. Once you get through there, you'll get to that I don't think I'll be able to get through there. No. Once you get to that financial assistance section, you will have this saved file and upload it. You would have already put your driver's license into this application. If you got support from anywhere else, you can put that evidence in here as well. And if you've got a new tenancy agreement or anything like that. If you've been approved for the immediate needs support package before, make sure you include your receipts and what you spent the funds on. Then you will save this into your file, into your documents, and then in this application of support, you will upload it into that and then go through and submit this as was in the last video. So that's the New South Wales Victim Services application, the immediate needs support package. If you need any help, reach out to their numbers. They're pretty good about the help. If you've got a friend who's pretty savvy with this stuff, or get linked in with a support service and a caseworker to be able to help you with this, because it is overwhelming. It is, I can't believe that we have our most traumatized people who have just experienced domestic violence at the hands of a person that they loved and, imagined a future with and possibly have kids with, and then we expect them to fill in all these forms. It's quite ridiculous. So I hope this has been helpful. If you are outside of New South Wales, have a look to see what your state's support packages are, or applications or needs. It'll be, a lot of them will be, somewhat similar. But if you need any of that personal, that specific information regarding your area, then absolutely reach out to the appropriate people and numbers and helplines. But I hope that has been helpful.